Welcome back to some new r/malicious compliance stories, where people comply to the letter, but not the spirit of a request. I hope you had a great day. Thanks for all the likes and comments on the last video. And now let's start with the first story. It's called Timesheet Compliance. This happened some years ago. The timesheet was the manager's job, not the admin's. Our manager left and we got a new one. He immediately assigned the timesheet job to me. I told him it was a manager's job, but he insisted that I do it. So I ticked everyone in. 5 days a week, 9 to 5. Some worked part-time, some worked flexible days, so they were not in every day. Some were not in at all. Payroll quickly queried the timesheet. The new boss never gave it to me again. The next story is called Properly Organized. I've been doing construction for 15 years. Our crew of 8 had been working on this office complex project together for 18 months. We had a good supervisor who was easy to work with and trusted us to do our jobs. He was in his 60s and about to retire. On his last night we had an awesome night out to see him off after a long career and his well-deserved retirement. The next week his replacement arrived. Derek, fresh out of construction management school, maybe 24. With exactly one previous job site under his belt. He showed up with a clipboard and an attitude. After a week of observing us, which mostly meant texting back and forth with his girlfriend while making comments on our work, Derek called a meeting. He announced a new rule. Every tool must be returned to its designated position immediately after each use. No exceptions. Anyone who's actually done construction knows this is insane. When you are hanging drywall, you use your drill, then your level, then your pencil, then your tape measure, then back to the drill. Putting each tool away after every single use would triple your work time. I tried explaining this. Derek wasn't interested in input from people who had been doing this since before he was even a gleam in his dad's eye. So we gave Derek exactly what he wanted. Monday morning we started putting every single tool back after every single use. Installing one outlet box became a 45-minute task. Grab drill, use it, walk back to the toolbox, organize it perfectly. Grab level, use it, walk back, organize it perfectly. Repeat for every single tool. What normally takes 10 minutes now took 45. But our tools were perfectly organized at all times. By Tuesday afternoon, Derek was getting frantic calls about why we were so far behind schedule. He came over, red-faced, demanding to know what was taking so long. Just following your efficiency protocols, boss. Every tool back immediately after use, like you said. Derek tried backpedaling, saying he meant when you are done with a task. I pulled out my phone and played back the recording of his speech, where he specifically said, immediately after each use, no exceptions. By Thursday, the project manager was on site, asking why productivity had dropped 75%. When he found out about Derek's tool policy, he looked at Derek like he'd grown a second head. Derek got transferred the following Monday. Our old super came back to fill in until a replacement could be found. He took one look at us obsessively organizing tools and said, "Cut it out, you idiots. We've got work to do. We finished 2 weeks ahead of schedule." The third story is called Colored Shirt. I was doing training to become an instructor in a very relaxed job, where jeans were actually a requirement. The training was 3 hours away, and nobody ever told us we needed a colored shirt. I was planning to just wear black V-neck shirts all weekend while teaching. Then the night before 7 AM class, at 9 PM, they texted us, "You need to have a colored shirt for tomorrow." I just stared at my phone. Ain't no way they were telling me this 3 hour from home, with zero warning. I was irritated, but I drove to Target at 9 PM and thought, fine, you want a colored shirt? I'll give you a colored shirt. They didn't say what kind. So I picked up a Hawaiian shirt, bright, loud, covered in Lilo and Stitch. The next morning I showed up, took off my jacket, looked my boss square in the eye and said, "Be careful what you ask for." They laughed so hard. The students laughed it, they laughed it, I laughed it. And that's the story of how I ended up with a Lilo and Stitch Hawaiian shirt. The last story is called Trash Duties. Many years ago, when I still lived with my parents, my mom decided it was time for my sister and me to pick up more chores around the house. Fair enough. We were hitting those preteen and teenage years where pitching in was expected. My chore? Trash duty. That meant emptying all the little trash bins in the house into a larger one, then taking that big bag outside. Simple. All was fine until one Saturday, when my mom asked why I hadn't emptied the bins. I said I had. She marched me into her bathroom, pointed to the trash can, and there it was. One single tissue in the bag. She told me the bags had to be completely empty, and if it happened again, I'd have to redo all the bins. I asked, even if I've already emptied them and they are basically empty? She said, yes, even if they are empty. Dully noted. A few weeks later, I did my usual trash run, but then my sister used the bathroom and tossed a couple of Q-tips into the bin. Sure enough, my mom called me out again. So I got up, grabbed every bin in the house, and threw away all the bags, empty or not. She looked at me and asked, why are you throwing away empty bags? I said, because apparently I didn't do my job well enough, and per your instructions, I have to redo it all, even if the bags are empty. After that, she loosened up. The rule shifted to emptying bins as needed, and nobody made a fuss over one tissue or a couple of Q-tips. Thanks for watching the video to the end. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please don't forget to leave a like, comment and subscribe. And if you have time, watch another one of my videos. Also, if you want to support me further, check out the channel membership or Patreon. And now, I hope you have a great day. See you soon. Bye bye.